The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to this afternoon's Gold Group session with your host, Willie Miranda.
Good afternoon, gold members. I can't believe it's June, and it is almost halfway through the year. Looking at our goals and looking at having our meeting this morning with my staff, there were a lot of things we're on pace for and ahead of, and there was a few things that we just haven't been able to get our hands around. You know, we came out pretty ambitious the first part of the year and wanted to get a lot of things in place. One of the big things that that we've done is we've remodeled our whole building, our main office, and we just got the CO on that on June 1st. So it's been a pretty stressful week getting that all together and getting everything back in, and servers, and my email that was down for 2 days. As an FYI, I guess with that, if you did send me an email and I haven't returned your email, please resend it, only because I'm finding that they said that they were going to be sent through even though our server was down, and I'm missing a couple. So so that's a quick update on me and what's going on here in upstate New York. Weather's good. Things are moving where they should be, and our market is definitely up. Last week, I had reported that over the last 2 weeks prior, we had pended 53 contracts in our office, which is pretty good compared to years prior, because we track it year over year. And the reason for that, a lot of it is because of the winter, right? We had a really tough winter here in upstate New York, so it was a little bit slower of a first quarter, and it seems to be making itself up here in the second quarter. One of the things that have been really good, and again, I'm only sharing stuff with you that has worked for us, that we've tried. You know, this is not something that is just, you know, I came up with one night in the middle of the night and said, this sounds good, and I'm going to get it out there to everyone. But and I've talked about this before on a mega open house. I just want to give you an update and how you can use this differently, possibly. But just from a marketing standpoint, I wanted to share with you because we're getting a really good traction with it. The flyer that you see here on the screen is the mega open house flyer that we send out. And it's on yellow paper, so it's on yellow, a little thicker stock paper that the Every Door Direct requires. And it's a nice big sheet of paper. And if you see on here, it says Neighbors Invited, 7 Dawson Lane, Clifton Park, Mega Open House, this Sunday, June 7th from 1 to 3 p.m. And then I put on there, you know, obviously a little bit about the home, and some of the information about tell your coworkers, your friends, your family. And this is a chance to move into this much sought-after neighborhood. And then it says on receive preview video at mirandamegaopenhouse.com. So any one of you can do that. It goes right to my YouTube, to Mega Open House. Actually, I could probably pull it up on here in a second here. That you guys can actually see that and be able to view that video. I actually just cut that video this morning real quick. The last time I did a video for a Mega Open House, I think I had over 550 views. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up to you and have you take a look at it, just switch over to a different format here. Again, you can't hear it or see it. You can play it on your own. But so far, we've only had 5 views. I just put it up about an hour and a half ago or so. And it doesn't have to be long. If you look on here, it's 1 minute and 24 seconds. It's me introducing this house that we're going to be having a mega open house on. If you see in the background, just kind of FYI, these text writer signs work very well. See more on your phone. Texting to that number, we're getting a lot more text inquiries. We pulled out all the fact sheets, you know, all the fact sheets that you put out in front of the house. We got rid of that a few years back, and we've been using these text writer signs. And why I like it is because you know, again, it's technology. It's great on selling presentations. It dominates, or really makes us look better versus the competition not using this. And everyone has text for the most part. And I show them exactly right on my phone when I'm on a listing appointment. I actually show them the actual text, and I'll text the information, and it pops up, and I show them exactly what a buyer sees, and they're very impressed by it. But then I also show them, and look at this. It pops up and sends me an email with their information and their phone number, so now I could follow it up. I said, fact sheets, you can't do that. Fact sheets, for the most part, most of the time the boxes sit out there empty. You don't know who's taking the sheets, if it's a neighbor, if it's a kid, or if it's just, you know, someone driving around that could have been a potential buyer, but for whatever reason didn't like one of the photos, or, you know, didn't like something about the house, and we discounted that buyer. So if you're doing that or using fact sheets, I highly recommend getting rid of those and going to these text writer signs so that you can control that buyer flow. And then there's a sign panel. I have them go to my website there to view homes, and then I have my rider, and then the other rider underneath that is our buy this home and we'll buy yours for cash. That's our USP that we use there. But again, it was just a quick video. I showed them a little bit of the front of the house. I showed them the back of the house as I was talking. I just did it on Camtasia. This is actually in my neighborhood, so I just kind of mentioned I was a little biased and that I actually built in a neighborhood. But it was 1:24. Very easy, very simple to do. If you see here, the one I did on April 26, which was just a couple weeks ago, we had 511 views on that. And that one we had actually 3 properties open at. 2 of the 3 properties are under contract. One of them, I could actually say both of them, both the buyers did come through our mega house event. Unfortunately, one took a couple weeks before coming back, but we did sell one that weekend. So it actually, it's definitely working, is attracting a lot of buyers, prospective buyers into the area. But here's another thing. We're picking up sellers. Sellers want this type of marketing done. They saw the traffic that we brought to that neighborhood. They saw, they actually came because I used the flyer to invite them to the open house. So that flyer that I just showed you a couple minutes ago right here, we send this out to, like in that case, 500 neighbors got this flyer. So neighbors invited, come out to this open house. We gave them the actual website to go on. That's where I get the 511 views. So I use the same URL, just every mega open house that we do. We just switch up the YouTube link and point that to the new house that they're doing for that week. Give them brief information on the home, quick couple pictures of it, and then the call to action obviously is finding out what their home is really worth by going to our website and getting a free home evaluation and value. Now that's on one side. On the other side of the this paper, and this is an 8.5 by 11 card that goes out, or flyer. On the other side, we have a testimonial. We have a testimonial page. So we put on there about what people are saying about Miranda Real Estate Group. And here I had 4 different testimonials of people that were happy and we were able to sell their house here and look at Sherwood Forest, 4 days and 98.5% of asking price, which happens to be in that neighborhood that I was marketing out to. These were other people here that they sold their house in 5 days, had multiple offers. And this is, proof. This is the real proof here that the stuff that we're doing is standing out. And you have to ask yourself, what agents in your marketplace are actually doing this? And you'll find that very few agents really do this. And the ones that are doing this are having success like I am on getting these sales. So like I said, we had a great last couple of weeks with our pendings. A lot of these sales have been coming from the sales of these mega open houses. And we've talked about this before. Like Craig always mentioned this, and I remember from day one back in 1998, sitting there in the first summer that I was, and it just made so much sense. These open houses, these dreaded open houses, sitting there for 2 hours, 3 hours, no one coming in, or just getting a handful of people that would come in, and nosy neighbors and that type of thing. And that's a traditional open house, and I do agree those do not work. But the mega open house, we do address marketing them a little bit different. I'm promoting these mega open houses to pick up other listings. Obviously, I want to sell the property first, is really the primary reason. But I'm also finding that I'm picking up additional listings. People are coming in and wanting us to do this for them. Even homeowners that or sellers that are listed with other companies, they're coming in and they couldn't believe that I sold, the one house so quick. It came on the market, we sold it in 2 days, and the guy across the street has been on the market for like 3 months now. He came over, was invited, and walked through and kind of gave me all the, the background of what's been going on and how frustrated he is and everything else. And he's got another like 2 weeks, and I think he's going to be pulling out and coming to us to market his property. Bottom line, he's overpriced. But you and I, all of us on this call know pricing is very important. You got to price these houses also in order to get them to sell. So here's another example of the open house flyer. I'm sorry, the testimonials as well. I got 2 pages on there, but only one goes on that flyer. But I wanted to give you that example of what you should be doing. This should be going on in all your marketing. And what I found great about this is that yesterday I was sitting down with my administrator, Tina, and we were going over this stuff. And if you notice on here, local postal customer, right? This is the every door direct, so that EDDM retail. These are going out at 17.5 cents a piece. So for like 500, I don't know, you can do the math on it. I think I saw on a sheet of paper just under 500. It was like 130 bucks or something like that. Sending these out. It's so cheap to get these in their mailboxes. But let's see here. I'm doing it right now, the math. 87.50. So I think I was calculating. Oh, I think I was also calculating the cost of the paper and the printing and all that stuff. But I come up with 87.50 for the postage, and then the rest of it was actually coming up with the material and the printing and everything else. But for $130, $125, whatever it came out to that I saw on the sheet that she had, we sent out 500 of these flyers. We've already received 3 home value property evaluations that are going to this 12065homevalue.com because people want to know what their value is, and then we're able to cross-sell those people, call them, use the universal callback script, find out what their time and motivation, and get them to purchase a home, or I'm sorry, get an appointment to list their property. And but the one that I was talking to with my inside salesperson, they're looking to buy another home in the same neighborhood. So they're looking to sell their house and buy one, hopefully one of our listings in the neighborhood. So they wanted to use us and know that we have other properties that are coming on the market and kind of get the inside scoop on, because they know we do so much business in that neighborhood. But we want to leverage ourselves, and that was a topic last week for my Monday Mastermind call that I did with my agents, is that we have all these pendings going on now, all these sales going on. What are we doing to leverage these things? What are we doing to get other sales from them? And doing these flyers, it doesn't have to say mega open house. You could take this right out and put on there, hot new listing, or new on market, or whatever. You could take that out. You don't have to do this mega open house. But what about marketing with every door direct, using this type of a concept to get it out there? The other thing that we did on this is that now that we have it posted onto Facebook, now we're going to be boosting this later on to get it out there. So if I just bring that up real quick, and I'm kind of jumping around here because I wanted to show you guys my daughter's prom. But if I go to the actual real estate site here and go to my fan page for Miranda Real Estate Group, I put this on there today. So just 2 hours ago, I put this on there, and so there's the picture. So it's already reached 76 people. We've had a couple of people like it already. So the video is being being published out there and being watched. But see over here where it says Boost Post? When you have a fan page, again, not on your personal page, you have to set up another page. So mine happens to be Miranda Real Estate Group, and this is our company page. I do have another page that is Nice's Capital District Homes, which was another page that I set up. So it's the picture of the Capital District. So think of your own marketplace. What would be that money shot? And then a picture of a nice home here. And then you could do different postings on there. Now I haven't used this site in a while, but this is an example because most of them I've been doing through our Miranda Real Estate site. But here's like a sample ad here. Find out the true value of your Saratoga home property. Click here, SaratogaHomeValue.com. This is something that we were testing. Reached over 20,000 people, and we had some good success with that. Ran that a few different times, and something is an idea that you can use. But you got to have your own fan page. So call it whatever you want. You can even I know we were talking about making Sherwood Forest one of these so that we can get it out to people and let them know that we're concentrating on that one development. It's just a small development, but some of you may have developments, 1,000, 1,500 households in a neighborhood. It would make sense for you to get its own Facebook fan page and have you be the administrator on that and post homes and post stats and post different things and have people, and then the flyers that you send to that neighborhood, have them come on to that Sherwood site or have them come on to that neighborhood site so they can post their own stuff on there and they can comment and get valuable information on that. So going back to the real estate site, what we've been finding is that by boosting these and targeting certain areas, and I'm going to show you right now, and that's why I wanted to put it on this call here, is actually going in and doing this boost post. So once I get it the way I want, I'm going to go ahead and click on boost post, and when I do that, it's going to allow me now to set a budget and to target a certain audience. So the audience that I want to go after, if you see here, it says people you choose through targeting, which is what I want to choose. And then it says the location, United States, Clifton Park, New York. So the 12065 area code is what I went after. You can edit that by just clicking here, and you can change it to whatever you want. You can put, San Diego. You could put Denver, Colorado, whatever zip code you want to do. You can put zip code, or you can put the area, and you can see here the drop down. Right. So there's the city that I picked, Clifton Park. I did ages 25 through 60, both men and women, and I just saved that. So it's really easy. Once you have it set up, it's already defaulted in there now that I did it a few times. And then you put on there a total budget on what you want to spend, and it'll show you that for a $20 budget, it should be able to reach 5,300 people out of a potential of 18,000 people within that Clifton Park area. So what this means is that it's going to go out. This actual post is going to show up on every person that has Facebook in that targeted area. This will come up on their news feed as a sponsored ad or on here, so that people will see it as they're scrolling through and looking at all their friends' photos and their family photos and all their different people that are in there on their Facebook. They're going to actually be able to see this pop up, and it's going to grab their attention when they see this mega open house this Sunday, and they're going to see the location of it, Clifton Park. Click on the video, and they're going to watch it, and then it's going to have call to action from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the $60 post that I usually do, and what's today? Thursday. So I usually run this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you could do it Sunday as well. But this gives me a potential of up to 13,000 people that it's going to reach over a 3-day. So boost this post for 3 days. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, this is going to go. So I'm doing a $20 a day budget, and it's going to get out to about 13,000 people on their user feed. So that's it. So I put those three things in there. I hit boost. Ready? Here we go. We send it, and that's pretty much it. Now what happens, they review it and make sure that it meets the ad guidelines, which it does. You can't have tons of text and different things in the photo, and can't be saying certain things, or have inappropriate behavior or language that's on there, or photos on there. So they'll look at it, they'll approve it, and then it'll just start hitting automatically onto the user feeds of those people. So that's it. I just click OK. And if you check back to this, say another week or two from now, you'll see it'll probably reach somewhere between 11 to 12,000 people that I'll actually go to over the course of the next 3 days. And my video hits will be 100, 200 video hits that I'll actually receive from that. Okay, so like I said, this one we did the same thing for, and we had over 511 views already on the last one. All right, so just a quick idea. Wanted to share that with you. That's what's working for us. We do the flyer in the mail to promote these, so it's going out to 500 households, and I already showed you what the flyer looked like. This is the flyer with the testimonials on the back. So that's our offline. That's our offline marketing. The online marketing we target with Facebook, which I just showed you how to do that. And then the other piece of it, to be proactive, if you wanted to take a list of all the people that were in that area, and we're able to get your hands on a phone list by using like a salesgenie.com. SalesGenie is a source that you can download all the names in that neighborhood and their phone numbers. Then you could do what's called a voice broadcast, and you could do that right through AMS for 14 cents a call. You can record one message inviting everyone to the open house, and you're calling all the neighbors to invite them over. Who better to pick out the best, the best buyer for this home than a neighbor themselves? And what we found is that neighbors are bringing in people. One of the sales that we had was a guy that brought his son in. His son and his daughter-in-law, his daughter-in-law is pregnant, were looking for a house. They were looking about 13 miles south of us. He got this flyer, invited his son. They were up over the weekend, had him come in, and they were the actual ones that bought it. She's going to be having a baby in the fall, and it worked out, and they were never really looking in that area in the neighborhood, but they ended up purchasing that as a result of this flyer that was going out to them. So again, maybe that worked, maybe it didn't work, but tell your friends, family, coworkers. There's been numerous times that I've gotten calls off my postcards from people that are calling me from, different towns. And when I ask them, how they heard about us, oh, my friend gave me your postcard. I work at the state, and he brought it in, got it in the mailbox, knew I was looking for a home or looking to sell my home, and brought it in for me, and I wanted information on X, Y, or Z. So don't be the secret agent. Make sure you do invest some time in marketing, and I'm giving you a couple of really great tips on some marketing here to drive traffic to your websites and to drive traffic to your open houses and to your listings. So good stuff there. All right, if you have any questions whatsoever, I'm open to hear questions from you. And Karen, I think you have a question for me, so I'm going to try to open up your mic right now. Karen, you there? Hi, Karen. All right. Karen's mic's not open, but Karen's question in the question box was, is the number in front of the link, is that the zip code? I don't know what you mean by that, other than maybe you're talking about the Facebook post, which is this right here. I'm thinking, I don't know. There's no number here, so it's probably not. But I don't know what you mean by that, Karen. So if you want to let me know. You said on there, sorry, website. Is the number in front of the website, is that the same zip code? So I don't know if you might want to elaborate on that, Karen. I'll go back to your question. But if you do have a question, there's a question box there. I'd be more than happy to answer it, and we'll move forward on some of these marketing ideas. All right, so Facebook. Just want to show you real quick because I'm a proud daddy. My daughter had her senior prom last week. We had it at my house, and there's my daughter and her boyfriend, and they had a great time at the ball. But there they are there. So I just have to show off my 18-year-old daughter. There's my wife, my daughter. And she's got accepted out to Bentley. She's going out to Boston for school in the fall, and there's all her friends, and came to our house and had a great day that day. And thank God it was a good day. If you could see, a lot of rain was drying out. We thought it was going to be a total washout. And there's one of her best friends. But it's always good to see it. Everyone had a good time. Everyone was safe, and just proud to see her that she was nice and happy and got into the dress. There was a big nervousness about getting into that dress for a couple of weeks, but she did it. So, all right, so with that, I'm going to switch to pitch here. And some of you had requested in the past, I had put out a survey as to, what are some of the things that you want to see in the future. And I kind of was a little reluctant to show some of the stuff that we do on recruiting, only because I know that, there are a lot of members that are single agents and they're just working by themselves and are not recruiting yet to a team. And I guess my conversation with them is that down the road you need to leverage yourself in order to grow your business, in order to have a better balance and have a better life in this business. You need to leverage yourself with people, whether that's hiring an assistant, whether it be part-time, full-time, adding buyer agents. And what I want to do is just share with you quickly, and I'm not going to spend the whole call on this, but I do want to go over this, and we can do another call in the future on this. But this is our recruiting presentation, and we wanted to really make when we're on our recruiting appointments and we're sitting down with outside salespeople. We want to make sure that we're not just recruiting people for a number, right? We're not looking to, I know there's some franchises out there that are really concerned about the number of agents that work at their company so they could say they're number one or number two or whatever the situation may be in a certain market. That is why I'm an independent agent. The reason I don't go with some of these bigger franchises is because that's all they are about the number, right? Number of recruits, and I wanted to stay away from that. So the people that I want at my company are people that are, believe in our culture, believe in helping and working more in the team environment, and are looking to build their business within my business, and that's where my successes come from. And my quote there, the road to success is always under construction, that was actually a fortune cookie that my daughter opened, Christine, that you saw just a few minutes ago, that she opened when she was like 4 years old, 5 years old, and we're at a Chinese restaurant. She liked to open my fortune cookies, and that was the actual quote that came out. And I had always wondered and always asked myself when people ask, what's your big why and how do you define success? I can never really answer that. And the true answer is right here. It's always under construction, right? It's always changing. And I don't know if we ever reach that success level where we feel that we're 100% at that success level and we're content. You're always changing and tweaking things as time goes on. But so just to kind of give you an overview in here, we'll just pop through some of these screens. We have 3 offices. Our corporate office, which I'm going to show you in the next call or two. I'm going to actually do a tour of my office and show you that. We have a satellite office, which is this office here, which is our Rotterdam office. And then we have another satellite office that we just took a lease on June 1st in Saratoga Springs. For those of you who know, the Saratoga track, Lake George region up that way. It's about 30 minutes north of where I'm at. We have a few agents working up there, and we've been doing a lot of sales up there, and the average sales price is double what it is in our market. So we wanted to go after that market and get it some presence up there. So I could talk to anyone ever wants to talk about growing your team or getting in certain marketplaces that, where you don't have to go and open a huge big office. I could show you how to utilize suite space and using, we're actually renting space from an attorney's office who had some extra offices with a separate entrance. And we have full use of his receptionist, meaning that people stop by or want to drop stuff off, answering the phone, that type of stuff. But we use our conference rooms, and we're also able to be in a building for $600 a month. I mean, that's how cheap and inexpensive it is. So when we're sitting down with a recruit, I think it's very important that just like a listing presentation or a buyer presentation, that you do the same thing when you're but when you're hiring a recruit to your company, because you really want to show them the visual side of what you do. Because you could say all you want, but the visual is what really sticks in their mind, and not a lot of other companies actually have a PowerPoint presentation that they're going through. Number 2, it keeps you on track. You shouldn't be on a 2-3 hour recruiting appointment because you're probably repeating yourself over and over again. This keeps you on track, and it shows them exactly what you can bring to the table. But there's really 3 things that I found over the years that agents really want out of a company. And 1 is leads, 2 is training, and the 3rd is support. And those are the things that we wanted to make sure that we showed them in our listing or in our presentation here for recruiting. And I keep slipping and saying listing presentation because some of these slides are right out of our listing presentation, showing them how we market as a team. So we want to make sure that we show them what makes Miranda Real Estate Group different than other companies. And you guys have seen this slide before. Most agents operate as a one-agent company or a one-agent show. Miranda Real Estate Group, we have what we call the ultimate home selling system. We go for more of a team approach, which is the preferred way of other businesses by working as a team. So you get service, marketing, admin, telemarketing support. You get all of this stuff here that you're able to tap into as a real estate agent working for our company. And then I give them a little bit of background on myself as far as my, working in the Capital District and Business Review and all the different books that we wrote and speaking on stage. And, here's me doing quarterly updates on YNN, the local news station. Talked to them about our leadership, which is myself and my brother. My brother's general manager and kind of oversees more of the operations and the finance side. I do more of the sales and marketing side, and I work with my agents direct. Talk about our amazing sales support staff and what they do and what their roles are, and show them how they support them coming into our company. Each and every one of these, Tina's been with me 10 years. Christina just came. We had to add on a 3rd person because we were that busy. Christina is excellent. She came from a very busy office and fit right well into our office. Julie has been with me about 12 years. Jackie's been with me at least that. I went to high school with Jackie. Anthony's my nephew. He's inside sales. Diane's been with me over 23 years now doing inside sales. So the longevity's been there for a reason. It's because we have the culture. We have a great team that works for us, and they work well together. And I keep them accountable, and they really work hard for me. So it's all about treating your people right. Here's a picture of our team at our kickoff meeting in January. I show them that to let them know that we have these events, and we want to make sure that we're doing something a little bit special and awarding our agents for a job well done. We talk about our company culture and our support, and here's our trip to the Dominican Republic back in February for a contest that we did where they got 100% of their trip paid for if they hit 100,000 GCI or more. and we had over 25 people on that trip. My brother and I pulling a money bag. This is a little Miranda bag here, and we fill it with $1,000 to $1,500, and we'll have contests where, based on the number of pendings, so if you had 9 pendings the last month, you get to pick first. Maybe that was, number 9 was the highest. If the next person had 7 pendings, then that person would pick one, would be the next one to pick. And we go around the room, and whoever had a pending gets to pick out of the bag. And I have hundreds in there, 50s in there, 20s in there, a lot of 5s, and we try to maybe only throw in a couple 1s just as a gag, whoever gets the $1 bill. But they really love it, and you can see Lynn there smiling, collecting some money out of there and walking out with another $40 in her pocket. So sometimes I'll give them pulls on a number of pendings they had. So she might have picked out, she might have had 4 listings or sales that month, so she picked out 4 times. Or sometimes I'll just do 1 pull based on where they rank. And obviously, if there's a couple $100 bills in there, they get first crack at it. There's Don Altieri. Here's on a JP cruise. We did a cruise on the Hudson River around the capital of Albany. We do that every year. Our Children's Hospital, presenting a check to the Children's Hospital for $25,000. We promote our top 10 agents in all of our flyers and in home magazines. Here's a little focus group. They were talking about different ways to, kind of going over our websites and taking a look at any errors, making sure all the links are working, that type of stuff, and they work together to better that. And they all pull in. This is all volunteer time right here for them to try to make things better. And there's a picture of Dominican Republic. But, we go over this in our presentation, talking about our golf tournaments and, our brand new space in our corporate office that we have up that I'll show you guys in a few weeks. Going over, all the different things that we do with social outings and contests. And, people like this. They're attracted to that. They want to go to a company where things are moving. Not you walk in and people are negative and the office is dark and no one's there, and the admin person that you walk in the front door and hand your listings to is snappy at you or in a bad mood because she's got 2 more listings to put in before yours, and you're just adding more tension to her life by giving her more work. We don't have that in our office. They all work together as a team, and if one is overloaded, we do daily huddles every day. And if we find that one of our staff members are really overloaded that day, the other girls chip in and help them out. We talk about a lot of charity and organizations that we give back to, and this is just, this is most of them, but there's still a few that are not on here. But Big Brothers Big Sisters, Junior Achievement, Make-A-Wish Foundation. The big one is the Children's Hospital, and there, as you see, there's my daughter formalizing a car wash with all the kids, and she gets it all together, gets the buckets and the soap and all that stuff and the hoses, and we raised anywhere between $700 to $1,000 every time we do it on a Saturday from like 9 to 1. So that's a great event there. We talk a little bit about training, going over, and this is our lender's office lets us do training, and there's me, and that's me training our staff, and I also invite other agents, talk about recruiting. Invite other agents that you respect and that are kind of on the fence, but maybe they're not ready to make a move yet. I'll invite them to training to come and sit and just listen to certain things. If it's not something that's going to put us in a bad position competitively, right? So I'm not going to do training on my listing presentation, but this specific training here, some of you might have seen on my Facebook before, was the self-defense training. And I actually had a self-defense instructor come in and actually teach a self-defensive course based on some recent activity with people getting abducted. That one lady down in Arkansas there that was killed, Beverly Carter, unfortunately. So we brought them and made the awareness to let them all know that. And I brought some people that I respected in the industry as well to come in. And it cost me maybe like $300-400 to do it. Well, let me tell you, my agents really appreciated it. The agents that I brought there appreciated it, and even a couple of them made reference like, what? I don't know why our company's 500 agents strong, and they don't even do it because they don't care, And that's kind of the philosophy that, or what comes out of it is that, they can definitely see I do care about their success and also their safety. And if you see back there, a guy was videotaping it, And I do have that on video if anyone wants to see that 30-minute presentation. Here's our product that Craig and I put together that we put out just this past February. And I show people about that. I show them about the Craig Proctor system, and also Top Producer, training them on their database for Top Producer. So, you know, leverage this. You know, you guys are in the Craig Proctor program, coaching, and you're in that. You know, you have the coaching website, you have the role play calls with James, which are excellent. You have the calls with Craig that are excellent. You know, utilize that. When you want to start growing your team, you know, they may not be in the same position as you to do that. You know, think about when you were coming into the business brand new. If you're able to hook up with a broker or get onto a team, and they gave you access to this for free because you're on their team, right? So you can actually train them to work the systems that you have, and you have Craig in the background training them. That's huge. Leverage that. So there we just go over some different things that we do. We also do a mastermind breakfast every quarter where we just talk about, you know, things that are working for people and challenges that they face, and we sit there, they all chip in $5 or $10, whatever they took off the menu, and you know, they throw it into the pot, and you know, at the end I usually get stuck for about $30 or so that I have to kick in, but no big deal. But we'll have 15 or 20 people around a round table. Everyone have breakfast, break bread. We meet once a quarter, and it gets the agents, you know, out of the office and talking about their businesses, how they can make it better, what are different things they could do from a marketing perspective, what different ways can they service their client better. So these are the things that we talk about there. And then we'll do listing workshop, buyer workshops, we'll do lunch and learns. I'll have some of my agents, my top agents in the top 10 that are really strong, like I got one guy who's really strong in scripts and dialogues. So he'll do a lunch and learn on scripts and dialogues. I have another lady that's been in the business over 30 years. She's really strong on listings. So I'll have her do the listing workshop and how she goes in and prices homes and how she lists properties. So the rest goes on. And then every Monday morning we do a Monday mastermind call at 8:30 in the morning till 9. I want them out of bed Monday morning early. So I have an 8:30 mastermind call where we talk about a sales topic, tip, and then we'll open it up for any you know, feedback from how they did over the weekend or any challenges that they're facing. And I usually get 25 to 35 people on that call every Monday morning. And then every month we'll do a full agency meeting once a month to go over highlights, recognition, birthdays, and we'll always do a sales idea in there as well. We talk about our lead generation, and a lot of you guys have seen this before. We use Commissions Inc., we use Market Leader, and we show, you know, the lead sources coming through the funnel, dropping down into Commissions Inc. back end, right? And we have our ISA actually managing that and providing the tracking and making those phone calls. Once the ISA books the appointment, then it's shifted over and it's signed to an agent, and that's where we goes into Top Producer, and that's where we launch the plan. So everything stays in this side of the fence until it becomes a viable lead or an appointment. Then we put it into Top Producer, and then it gets plans that are launched from there. We don't want to go throwing hundreds and hundreds of leads into Top Producer of people we've never even reached or talked to. So we keep it back here. Commission Inc. has a great management tool to do that, and then we set it over here. But in my my ISAs, just so you know, that there's only 3 things they do with these leads, and I've talked to many of you on this call before about this. Is that they're either going to set up a follow-up with this customer that, you know, if they're not ready yet or not ready in the next 2 to 3 months, then when will you be ready? So they're going to set that follow-up call. They're going to book an appointment, and if they do book an appointment, then they're going to go ahead and push it on this side of the fence and decide it's an agent. Or 3, they're going to trash it, right? The people just, you know, bought already, or, you know, their cousin's an agent, whatever the situation may be. That's really the only 3 things you're doing with those leads as you're making those phone calls. And then we have the administrators that will go ahead and launch the certain plans and make sure it's follow up on through the process. People are very, recruits that we sit down with are very impressed by this. They're like, wow, you know, you have a system. And the biggest gap when I talk to them about what's their biggest challenges, and a lot of you have this on the call today, is that you're great at generating leads, right? You're great at sending them to your website, but when it comes time to converting these leads, that's where a lot of times we drop the ball, because you're only giving them 1 or 2 or maybe 3 swings at the plate, and we're not following that, you know, 80% of sales made on the 5th to 20th contact. This here, when we launch our 3-4-12 plan, we're contacting these people 19 times. The lead drops in here, they're getting called 3 times in the first 72 hours. If we don't get a hold of them, they're getting one phone call for the next 4 weeks. And if we don't get a hold of them then they're getting one phone call for 12 months, every month for 12 months. So that's over 13 months, they're getting 19 touches. You know, at that point, at the 19th touch, I mean, if we couldn't get a hold of them, we're pretty much probably trashing them. But more likely, we're booking an appointment or setting a future follow-up date and getting them over here when they're ready. Okay, that's how we're able to convert a lot of leads versus just calling these people once or twice and never calling them again, only to get an email 6 months from now or a year from now that says, hey, take me off your list, I just bought a house, right? So we talk about the different things that we do with our agent websites that we give to our agents, our success website leads, we talk about our top producer, we talk about our inside sales department, how that works, how to use our, our signs, riders, and our USPs and text rider signs, and then I go over postcards and newsletter templates with them. We give all of our agents a market leader account, so that's their agent website. I use that from a broker standpoint, and they like that because they get their own IDX feed and their own little bio, and they're able to market this website out to different people or put it on Craigslist or do their own flyers and drive traffic here. But here's a big thing here is that we show this, and this is great on our listing presentations too. And I know Craig has talked about this in the past, where when you guys are on listing presentations, you need to take a snapshot of the back end of your success website or your Zillow account, Trulia, whatever. And I don't care. I mean, I have a huge number here, 25,000 contacts we have that have come to Market Leader, probably in the last 7 or 8 years. But you might only have, I don't care if it's 200 or 200,000. You want to show this to your listings. This makes a huge difference for us. When we added this slide in our seller presentation, it definitely showed a big wow factor. And what we do is we just tell the seller, say, hey, the reason why you hire us is because we have the buyers. We have 25,000 buyers in our database right now that once we take your listing, we're going to go ahead and put our matching feature on, and it's going to go through this database and comb through the 25,000 buyers that are here, and we're going to match it up to the people that want at your price range in your area based on what they're looking for and what price range, and we're going to go in and match them up to your home. And it could be a couple hundred buyers there that come up, and then we send them all the information, your links, your virtual tour, and we want to get them to the property. And a lot of times we've been able to double end properties because they're not working with agents, but they know us because we've been dripping on them now for months, sometimes years. And sellers love that. There's no other agent coming in there showing them this, right? They're coming in there with the yellow pads. They're not even coming in with presentations. Use this stuff. Show them that this is why you're paying. And like Craig always said, your commissions, right? All these discounters out there, and we come in there and we're trying to get a full fee, and our commission is a cost, right, to the seller. That's how they look at it. And cost is only an issue in the absence of value. Cost is only an issue in the absence of value. So this is showing them that value by having that, and then we show them how a cross-reference there. All right, so we show them our tour homes. I'm sorry, not our tour homes, but our website and how the lead looks when it comes through. We talk about our email that we give them. We talk about our lock boxes, the moving truck that we give to all of our clients that they can now use. We talk about our vendor referral directory, which is in Module 4 of the referral agent machine. We're actually having our business mixer on the June 11th, so hopefully I'll be able to give you an update on how that went, show you some pictures, and show you how that went. We're updating our vendor referral directory. And we show them the reason for that, right? We show them that we want to network with other vendors. We want to be the company of choice, and we want to make sure that we're giving them really good, solid referrals to all of our buyers and our sellers, and giving them that concierge service. We show them all the different newsletter templates and anything you need from a newsletter to postcard to buyer-seller reports, right? A lot of this stuff is in the Correct Proctor program. That's a benefit to them. They don't have to recreate this stuff. We already provide that to them. We have top-of-the-line copiers and printers, scanners, so that they can, work at ease, hit one button, scan something, it goes right to their email or fax it somewhere. We don't want them, going in and using all the equipment that's breaking down all the time. And I learned this a long time ago when I was at Remax. We had a copier like that, and the copier was down all the time. And one of the top producers one day ended up leaving. And I asked him why. He goes, you know what, just one day I just was fed up and went in there, went to make a copy, and the copier was down again, and I just said, I'm done. And that's why he left. Now, it probably was a lot of other reasons, but that copier was the last straw. So I think I picked that up, and I just always, I lease them. I have maintenance all the time, and every 3 years we're getting new copiers and scanners. We talk about a unique selling proposition and our competitive comp plans that we offer. And here, we strive to make you a career agent, not a transactional agent, right? And we talked about that. Actually, I should probably put that template on there, which shows transaction agent versus career agent. There's our moving truck, so we show them that they have use of that. We go over our recent survey. We talk to them about our platinum reverse offer. We talk to them about our guarantee sale program, how we're unique doing that and how it works, because a lot of times they don't understand it. They think it's just some big gimmick, but when we show it to them on here and how we use it, it makes a lot of sense to them. And we show them a couple examples of some of the postcards that we send out, which a lot of you have seen those before. And that's it. We recap it, and it's done. But I got to say, I just put on a $7 million producer last week. I came into my new office, sat down, went through this presentation, and it was pretty much hands down. He was interviewing 4 other brokers, and not one of them had a presentation even close to this. Most of it was through paper and just sitting back in their chairs and, pretty much with the yellow pad themselves and, what do you want to make? And let me show you how our comp plan works. So good stuff there. So if you guys want information on that or want a copy of that, I'd be more than happy to send it out to you for those of you that are looking to build teams. If you're not looking to build a team, that's fine. You will eventually be looking to build a team, and hopefully you got a couple good ideas from that. So that's it. Any questions, please let me know. Any questions that you guys have right now. That was the flyer. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm trying to share stuff that we're working with. I know the follow-up has been huge. I know that a lot of the agents in my company have lost a couple opportunities because they weren't following up as properly as they should. And we're working on something. One of the things that we're working on is a video blog and actually doing video. So all these email addresses that we have, all these emails that we pick up on Success Website or Truly or Zillow, and a lot of them, even with inside sales, they get annoyed because they're sending emails and they're not getting returned, or they're they don't have a phone number to call. So they feel it's harder to do this whole 3, 4, 12, and I tell them that, just like a phone call, you send out an email the same way, very short, just like to a friend, and that's how you build that relationship with them. But we're going to come out with a concept of doing a video every week, just taking 2-3 minutes like I did with that one that we did on a mega open house, and just give them different ideas on buying or selling a home. So we have all the reports. So an example would be, the video would be, me with the 27 tips report in my hand and saying, hi, it's Willie Miranda Real Estate Group, and this week I wanted to share with you, now that we're in a, pretty hot selling season, a lot of questions I get from seller, what are the things I need to do to get my home sold fast and for top dollar? And we come up with this report with the 27 tips. There's some really great reports. All my clients that we've successfully sold their home have really enjoyed receiving this this report. Let me show you the first one here. The first one is about pricing, and pricing is so important. And blah blah blah. You give them a couple different tips on pricing, and say, okay, well, for the other 26 tips, feel free to go to my website and go to 27tips.com, and I'll give you that report right away. And you just put it on YouTube, send it out to your list. They watch the video, they go to it, they want the report, and that's how you get them. But you would never have got them by calling them because you don't have a phone number, and they would never respond to your text email because they don't want to, they don't want to read the text email or go back to you. But the video is going to have you establish that know, like, and trust factor, and they're going to be able to say, this is a real human being. You'll have different, you want to make sure that you have different backgrounds, so you're not always taping from the same place. Maybe do it in your backyard, maybe do it on the beach, maybe do it at a playground, and then just reference in the beginning of your video, hey, I'm down here at Starbucks today in downtown Albany, just got done with an appointment and getting ready to shoot out to this other listing, and I thought about this report I wanted to share with you, and that's kind of how you start the video. But people will be intrigued by it because they want to see where you're at. So when I went to the Grand Canyon, when I went to Anaheim, when I went to Vegas, when I went to Santa Monica Pier, just back in April, I was doing videos back for my agents, for my team, and they just love watching it. But you got to keep it to no more than 3 minutes. Got to be under 3 minutes, or you're going to lose people, and actually they'll never listen to it because they feel it takes too long to listen to it. Okay, so this one, let's see here. Eric had in there, I'd like to review your recruiting presentation to brainstorm adjustments that you can employ here on yours. Okay, Eric, thank you very much. Can you share your PowerPoint? Absolutely. Eric, shoot me an email at wmiranda, there it is right there, wmiranda at mrgteam.com. I'd be more than happy to share that with you, and if it doesn't go through, I'll do it in a PowerPoint, or not PowerPoint, Dropbox link so you have it. And anyone else that's on this call, whether you're on it live or hearing the recording, you could shoot me an email right there. And in the subject line, just put on there, please send me recruiting presentation. Okay? And I'd love to get your feedback too. Like, this is something that, we had versions of this, and we kind of cleaned it up a little bit recently. I don't like it still. I still think that there's some things that can be added to it. Every time I go through it, I think of something else, like that transactional and career screen. I think there should be more pictures of the office, more pictures of the agents having a good time, because that's what it's all about, right? People really want to know that they're going to be going to an office where they can feel comfortable, make money and have fun. And that's really what it comes down to. So there's still some tweaking I want to do to it. So I'd love to get your feedback on it. And Eric, take a look at it. Tell me what you think, and I'd love to see you, knock it out of the park yourself, and send me your copy revised, which I'm sure will be great for you down and recruiting people down your way. All right, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I think we're right around the top of the hour. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to open up your mic, or if you want to type in a question, that's fine. And Andrea, I don't know if you're still there or not. You there? No, I think Andrea's all set.
I am.
So,
can you hear me?
oh,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay, Andrea. So our next call is going to be on June 18th. Is that correct?
That is correct. June 18th.
Okay. So June 18th at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having our next Gold Call. And at that time, like I said, next Thursday I'm going to be doing the business mixer. So I think what I'm going to do is on the 18th, actually show you the results of that business mixer, show you guys how to do a business mixer. And it's never too late to do it. I don't care if you have 10 people that go to the event. You want to start doing that. I picked up two referrals last week, one from my Lance. He's the like 1-800-GOT-JUNK guy, but it's Lance Hauling, he calls it. And he gave me 2 referrals last week for people selling their home. Guess how it happened? Because he's on my referral directory. He got an invite again. He's like, yeah, I definitely want to be on there. Make sure I'm on there. I'll be down there on June 11th. And by the way, here's 2 people that are cleaning out their house that are going to be selling their home. One was an estate, and the other one was just people just getting rid of stuff to put it on the market. Both of them did not have a real estate agent. And that's how simple it is. And basically how the conversation goes, he's a high I personality, very likable guy. He gets there, he's joking around with them, he's throwing her stuff out, everything else, and gets in conversation. Why are you throwing us all out? What are you doing? And the conversation came, we're cleaning it all out because we're putting it on the market. Oh, really? Do you have a real estate agent? And both of them said no. We got to look around, and one it was 5 siblings, and the one kid had to fly in, the executor, and he's here for a couple of weeks, but he doesn't know anyone, no real estate agent. He didn't know anyone. He called him out of a phone book, and he says, no, we got to start searching and find a real estate agent. He goes, great, I got someone for you. And he went in his glove compartment in his truck and gave him my cards. So that's one of the things that I give all my vendors, a stack of cards with a rubber band about them. I tell them, throw it in your glove compartment so that when people that you know and you're out there in the field, you always have my card. And so he gave me 2 leads last week, which is great. So we'll see how they pan out. I haven't listed them yet. but I'm pretty confident one of them we will definitely get. The other one, it's a timing thing. I don't know if they're going to put it on the market right away because of paperwork and courts and all that stuff, but one we're definitely going to get. All right, so with that, guys, have a great week this week. Enjoy your summer. We'll see you guys on June 18th, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to give me any feedback whatsoever on that, I'd really appreciate it. You want to shoot me an email, any thoughts that you might have had, that'd be great. And with that, we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care and have a great day. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend ahead.